Hey guys, this is my community in words and pictures presentation. Okay, so the Seeking the Good Community article, according to Ohio State University's fact sheet, there are a few key elements that make up a good community. A good community will offer residents a safe place to live, offers access to those goods and services necessary to sustain residents at a level acceptable to them, must have relationships of the character that bind people together, must have a commonality of values and goals that helps residents pull together, is a place where people are treated as whole persons, is a place where the day-to-day relationships among residents are highly predictable, has a recognized place within the social structure for each member, provides sufficient opportunities for growth and fulfillment, and is homogeneous enough to prevent conflict between neighbors, but heterogeneous enough to create some diversity. So crime, alienation, fear, dissatisfaction are all symptoms of undesirable communities. A good community is more of an ideal because there is no perfect community in existence, but it serves as a guideline or standard. Again, some of these key elements, so to break it down a little bit more, safety would be the most important key element in any good community. Most people can accept that natural disasters such as floods or tornadoes happen, but usually in a good community, precautions are taken to sensibly plan programs for such natural events. So, for example, if you live in an area that is typically floods, then if you're in a good community, then you're going to have local leaders that will plan for these such events. Evacuations need to happen. They'll have the safety rescue teams available. In New Jersey, we really don't have to worry about that much. There's no real natural disasters that occur here in Jersey. So we would probably be on the less prepared side, as compared to Kansas, who experiences tornadoes pretty often. So safety also includes residents being entitled to clean water supply or unnecessary traffic and safe from crimes. So in New Jersey, especially in Middlesex County where I live, being so close to New York City, unnecessary traffic is not really something that they can prevent because there's a lot of traffic here in Jersey. There's a lot of people per square mile. We're definitely it's very overpopulated here in Jersey, especially where I live because I'm in central Jersey, so close to New York City and also pretty close to Philly as well. But in New Jersey, a clean water supply is actually something that local politicians are trying to tackle in the Newark area because there's a lot of lead in the water there. So a lot of the neighborhoods and residents have band together and are protesting this, that they want local officials to step up and take care of this because it's affecting their residents. So other key elements in a good community are access to goods and services necessary to sustain them. In Jersey, there's you can go every couple miles in every direction and there's some kind of store, food store, anything like that that can provide these goods and services that are necessary. Common values and goals in the community, predictability in relationships such as government, local officials, police, firefighters, and opportunities such as cultural, ethnic, religious, political, educational, and recreational. And I'll get into that part a little bit more about my community in Middlesex County because I think that we hit majority of those key elements just because we are so culturally diverse here in Jersey, but more so in Middlesex County. And all of this is according to the article by the Ohio State University. So to break down homogeneity a little bit more, when suburban growth exceeds expectation of planners or community developers or politicians, that's when that happens. We see that like a lot here in Jersey, like the growth, we just keep growing in numbers here in Jersey. So it's like exceeding the expectation of city planners. Most Americans are attracted to suburban areas because of their basic hostility towards culture or lifestyles of big cities. I think that's why Jersey is so overpopulated because we're so close to New York City and Philly. So it's outside of the city life, but it's close enough where people could still work there and commute. While people aspire to leave the urban area, they still desire the amenities and opportunities connected with urban areas, such as emergency services, high quality education, access to shopping, responsive government, transportation. This is all according to the Ohio State University article. So New Jersey is 99% urban and considered 1% rural, even though we are considered the Garden State. Most of our state is considered urban. Most people living in Jersey commute and work in the city or Philly. I was actually surprised to see this graph because transportation in Middlesex County, it saying 79.7% that people commute to work alone, which I was very surprised by, that the subway or bus or railroads weren't a higher percentage, because majority of my coworkers or friends that I know, they do commute into the city, into New York City, and they do it by subway and train. So I'm surprised that percentage is not higher actually. So this was an interesting graph for me to see for Middlesex County. Races in Middlesex County. The populations as of July 1st, 2019 in New Jersey was 8,882,000. In Middlesex County, it was 842,798. So in Middlesex County, there's 71.9% white, 15.1% black, 10% Asian, 20.9% Hispanic. Of that population, 51% is female, and of that population, 22.2% are foreign-borns, which I'm not surprised by those numbers, especially where I live in Middlesex County. I live very close to Rutgers University. We have a very high percentage of Asians that come over and attend school here at Rutgers. So, I mean, I think this shows that how diverse Middlesex County is, and in New Jersey, it's even more, the numbers just get even more diverse. We have a really large Indian population. Like in a town in Middlesex County, it's Edison, New Jersey. They call it Little India because a lot of Indians will come over here and start a life for the American dream, really. So in Middlesex County, we can see in purple here on the graph, and in New Jersey is in like that gray kind of color. 89.5% of the New Jersey population was a high school graduate or higher, and 38.9% of the New Jersey population had a bachelor's degree or higher. And then we can see like Middlesex County versus New Jersey, just the statistics of education levels. Religious beliefs here in Middlesex County versus New Jersey, we see Catholic is one of the largest, besides no belief whatsoever. And I think that makes total sense. We have a very large Italian population here in Middlesex County, and majority of the Italians are Catholic believers. And we have a lot of Catholic churches here in Middlesex County. I mean, you can go maybe a couple miles before you run into another Catholic church. So this is just to show the presidential elections, Democrat versus Republican. New Jersey is a democratically swung state. Majority of any local politician is of the Democratic Party. So as you can see, I mean, New Jersey is just like a mixing pot of ethnicities and cultures. Middlesex County is in the purple and New Jersey is in the gray. So the Italian, Irish, Polish, German, Egyptian, Russian, all very high statistics. So the population growth, we can see just how much it's increased in Middlesex County and in New Jersey over the last, couple of decades and years. It's just continuing to grow, and because it's so close to New York City, it makes sense. So the median selected monthly owner cost with a mortgage is $2,439 per month. The median gross rent was $1,295. And then if in Middlesex County, if you look down there, Middlesex County, the median 2017 rent for an apartment was $1,325 per month. And I pay much higher than that. I mean, it makes sense now because it's 3 years later, but that, especially where I live though in Middlesex County as well, because I'm so close to Rutgers University, the rent here is just really, really high. And it's even higher than we can see versus like the whole state altogether. The median household income we can see is $79,363. Persons in poverty is 9.5%, which I thought was pretty high. And then persons without health insurance under 65 years old was 8.7%, which is also high as well, in my opinion. So this is where Middlesex County is in New Jersey. It is honestly in central Jersey. If you look over here, this is like where Staten Island is. New York City would be like up here, up this way. And then Philly is like right down here. Newark is down this way as well. So we're close to a bunch of major cities. New Brunswick right here is where Rutgers University is, and that's where I live. And you could just see how close I am to a bunch of just major cities and areas. And then down here is the Jersey Shore. So important institutions in my community would be New York City, Philly, Newark, Trenton, and they're all under 1 to 2 hours from Middlesex County. New York City and Newark are 35-minute train rides away from here. The population density, as you can see, it's very high, 2,721 people per square mile. That's why we have so much traffic here. And that's Jersey is called the Garden State, but Middlesex County's average size of farms is 79 acres, which is very small. And then just some statistics of men-owned firms, women-owned firms, and minority-owned firms. So a good community assessment, I personally think that Middlesex County meets a lot of the criteria for a good community. I've lived in a couple different towns in New Jersey, and there's just so many opportunities for cultural and racial, just educational, recreational activities. We have Caribbean Fest. We've got, Little India that's close to here. I mean, and we have a very high Asian population. I mean, there's just so much abundance and activities and just cultural awareness and celebration, which I think is pretty cool. So goods and services are so accessible. They're all over the place. And safety in Middlesex County towns, it's where the firefighters, police, EMTs have a very quick response time. So most places in Middlesex County are safe and a good place to live. And that's probably also why it's, so overpopulated. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.